أنزلت فيه القرآن وأفطرت على عبادك فيه الصيام. صل على محمد وآل محمد وارزقني حج بيتك الحرام في عامي هذا وفي كل عام، واغفر لي تلك الذنوب العظام، وإنه لا يغفرها غيرك يا رحمن يا علام. اللهم صل على بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أفتتح الثناء بحمدك وأنت مسدد للصواب بمنك، وأيقنت أنك أنت أرحم الراحمين في موضع العفو والرحمة، وشد المعاقبين في موضع النكال والنقمة، وأعظم المتجبرين في موضع الكبرياء والعظمة. اللهم أذنت لي في دعائك ومسألتك، واسمع يا سميع بدعتي، واجب يا رحيم دعوتي، واقل يا غفور عسرتي. وكم يا إلهي من كربة قد فرجتها، وهموم قد كشفتها، وأسرة قد أقلتها، ورحمة قد نشرتها، وحلقة بلاء قد فككتها. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا، ولم يكن له شريك في الملك، ولم يكن له ولي من الذل، وكبره تكبيرا. اللهم صل على الحمد لله بجميع محامده كلها، على جميع نعمه كلها. الحمد لله الذي لا مضاد له في ملكه ولا منازع له في أمره. الحمد لله الذي لا شريك له في خلقه ولا شبيه له في عظمته. الحمد لله الفاشي في الخلق أمره، وحمده الظاهر بالكرم مجده، الباسط بالجود يده، الذي لا تنقص خزائنه ولا تزيد كثرة العطاء إلا جودا وكرما، إنه هو العزيز الوهاب. اللهم إني أسألك قليلا من كثير ما حاجة بي إليه عظيمة، وغناك عنه قديم، وهو عندي كثير، وهو عليك سهل يسير. اللهم إن عفوك عن ذنبي، وتجاوزك عن خطيئتي، وصفحك عن ظلمي، وسترك على قبيح عملي، وحلمك عن كثير جرمي، عندما كان من خطئي وعمدي، أطمعني في أن أسألك ما لا أستوجبه منك، الذي رزقتني من رحمتك، وأريتني من قدرتك، وعرفتني من إجابتك، فصرت أدعوك آمنا وأسألك مستأنسا، لا خائفا ولا وجلا، مدلا عليك فيما قصدت فيه إليك. وإن أبت عني أتبت بجهلي عليك، ولعل الذي أبت عني هو خير لي لعلمك بعاقبة الأمور. فلم أرى مولا كريما أصبر على عبد لئيم منك علي. يا رب إنك تدعوني فأولي عنك، وتتحبب إلي فتبغض إليك، وتتودد إلي فلا أقبل منك، كأنني يتطول عليك. ولم يمنعك ذلك من الرحمة لي والإحسان إلي والتفضل علي بجودك وكرمك. فارحم عبدك الجاهل وجد عليه بفضل إحسانك، إنك جواد كريم. الحمد لله مالك الملك مجري الفلك مسخر الرياح فالق الإصباح ديان الدين رب العالمين. الحمد لله على حلمه بعد علمه، والحمد لله على عفوه بعد قدرته، والحمد لله على طول أناته في غضبه وهو قادر على ما يريد. الحمد لله خالق الخلق باسط الرزق فالق الإصباح ذي الجلال والإكرام والفضل والإنعام، الذي بعد فلا يرى وخرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى. الحمد لله الذي ليس له منازع يعادله، ولا شبيه يشاكله، ولا ظهير يعاضده. قهر بعزته الأعزاء وتواضع لعظمته العظماء، وبلغ بقدرته ما يشاء. الحمد لله الذي يجيبني حين أنادي، ويستر علي كل عورة وأنا أعصي، ويعظم النعمة علي فلا أجازي. وكم من موهبة هنية قد أعطاني، وعظيمة مخوفة قد كفاني، وبهجة مونقة قد أراني، وأثني عليه حامدا واذكره مسبحا. الحمد لله الذي لا يهتك حجابه، ولا يغلق بابه، ولا يرد سائله، ولا يخيب آمله. الحمد لله الذي يؤمن الخائفين وينجي الصالحين، ويرفع المستضعفين ويدع المستكبرين، ويهلك ملوكا ويستخلف آخرين. والحمد لله قاسم الجبارين مبين الظالمين مدرك الهاربين نكال الظالمين صريخ المستصرخين موضع حاجات الطالبين معتمد المؤمنين. الحمد لله الذي من خشيته ترعد السماء وسكانها، وترجف الأرض وعمارها، وتموج البحار ومن يسبح في غمراتها. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله الذي يخلق ولم يخلق، ويرزق ولا يرزق، ويطعم ولا يطعم، ويميت الأحياء ويحيي الموتى وهو حي لا يموت، بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وأمينك وصفيك وحبيبك وخيرتك من خلقك وحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك أفضل وأحسن وأجمل وأكمل وأزكى وأنمى وأطيب وأطهر وأسنى، وأكثر ما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت وسلمت على أحد من عبادك وأنبيائك ورسلك وصفتك وأهل الكرامة عليك من خلقك. اللهم وصل على علي أمير المؤمنين ووصي رسول رب العالمين عبدك ووليك وأخي رسولك وحجتك على خلقك وآيتك الكبرى والنبي العظيم وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين، وصل على سبطي الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة، وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي خلف الهادي المهدي حججك على عبادك ومنائك في بنادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة. اللهم وصل على ولي أمرك القائم المؤمل والعدل المنتظر وخفه بملائكتك المقربين وأيده بروح القدس يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعله الداعي إلى كتابك والقائم بدينك استخلفه في الأرض كما استخلفت الذين من قبله. مكن له دينه الذي ارتضيته له، أبدله من بعد خوفه أمنا يعبدك لا يشرك بك شيئا. اللهم أعزه وأعزز به وانصره وانتصر به وانصره نصرا عزيزا وافتح له فتحا يسيرا واجعل له من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. اللهم أدهر به دينك وسنة نبيك حتى لا يستخفيا بشيء من الحق مخافة أحد من الخلق. اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بها الإسلام وأهله وتذل بها النفاق وأهله وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما عرفتنا من الحق فحملنا وما خسرنا عنه وبلغنا. اللهم المم به شعثنا وشب به صدعنا وارتق به فتقنا وكثر به قلتنا وعادل به ذلتنا واغن به عائلنا واخذ به عن مغرمنا واجبر به فقرنا وسد به خلتنا ويسر به عسرنا وبيد به وجوهنا وفك به أسرنا وانجح به تلبتنا وانجز به مواعيدنا واستجب به دعوتنا وعتنا به سؤلنا وبلغنا به من الدنيا والآخرة أعمالنا وأعتنا به فوق رغبتنا يا خير المسؤولين وأوسع المعطين. اشف به صدورنا واذب به غيظ قلوبنا واهدنا به لمختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. وانصرنا به على عدوك وعدونا إله الحق آمين. اللهم إنا نشكو إليك بغض نبينا صلواتك عليه وآله وغيبة ولينا وكثرة عدونا وقلة عددنا وشدة الفتن بنا وتظاهر الزمان علينا. وصل على محمد وآله وعنا على ذلك بفتح منك تعجله وبضر تكشفه ونصر تعزه وسلطان حق تظهره ورحمة منك تجللنها وعافية منك تلبسنها برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم برحمتك في الصالحين فادخلنا وفي عليين فارفعنا وبكاس من معين من عين سلسبيل فاسقنا من الحور العين برحمتك فزوجنا ومن الولدان المخلدين كأنهم لؤلؤ مكنون فاخدمنا ومن ثمار الجنة ولهم الطير فأطعمنا ومن ثياب السندس والحرير والاستبرق فألبسنا والليلة القدر وحج بيتك الحرام وقتلا في سبيلك فوفق لنا وصالح الدعاء والمسألة فاستجب لنا. وإذا جمعت الأولين والآخرين يوم القيامة فارحمنا وبراءة من النار فاكتب لنا وفي جهنم فلا تغلنا وفي عذابك وهوانك فلا تبتلنا من الزقوم والضريع فلا تطعمنا ومع الشياطين فلا تجعلنا وفي النار على وجوهنا ولا تكببنا ومن ثياب النار والسرابيل القطران فلا تلبسنا ومن كل سوء يا لا إله إلا أنت بحق لا إله إلا أنت فنجنا. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك أن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر من الأمر المحتوم بالأمر الحكيم من القضاء الذي لا يرد ولا يبدل أن تكتبني من حجاج بيتك الحرام المبرور حجهم المشكور سعيهم المغفور ذنوبهم المكفر عن سيئاتهم وأن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر أن تطيل عمري في خير وعافية وتوسع في رزقي وتجعلني ممن تنتصر به لدينك ولا تستبدل بي غيري. أعوذ بجلال وجهك الكريم أن ينقضي عني شهر رمضان أو يطلع الفجر من ليلتي هذه ولك قبلي تبية أو ذنب تعذبني عليه.
رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم بسم الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله أوله بلا أول كان قبله وآخره بلا آخر يكون بعده الذي قصرت عن رؤيته أبصار الناظرين وأجزت عن نعته أوهام الواصفين ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيبنا وطبيب نفوسنا أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل وعليه الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعنة الدائم على أعدائهم وغاسب حقوقهم ومنكر فضائلهم ومناقبهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد. السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. First and foremost, I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me the opportunity to be at your service here in Al-Ghadir, Houston. And I thank the center and the Mu'mineen, their love and their kindness and their desire pulled me here. Apologies for missing first 5 nights. I was supposed to be on the first. Due to certain circumstances that happened at home, I couldn't be here on the first. However, from tonight till the 15th, inshallah, I'm at your service. The topic that we have chosen to discuss is the will of Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, the last will of Amirul Mu'mineen. From his few days or from his deathbed that he gave to his children. We'll be looking and reflecting that from a metaphysical and also divine degree and the Asma and Tajalliyat Asma point of view, inshallah. However, Tonight being the first night, I just wanted to remind us all in regards to this specific month and also this specific place as well that we are gathered tonight. As you know that there are two types of rizq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is a rizq which is umumi, which is for everybody. In the month of Rajab we recite, in the dua of Rajab that the one who provides rizq, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَعْرِفْ وَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْأَلُهُ وَمَنْ لَمْ يَعْرِفْ. Allah give rizq for those who ask for rizq and those who do not ask for rizq. Allah is the provider of rizq to everybody. Allah give rizq, those who know Allah provides the rizq to them, and those who do not know Allah provides the rizq to them. So there is a rizq umumi, a general rizq which has been given to everybody. But there is a rizq khususi, there's a special rizq. The same way, just like how Allah is Rahman and Rahim. Rahman for everybody, Rahim for mu'mineen. So there is a rizq which is for everybody. And there is a rizq which is specific and unique for special people and at the same time in special times. There are two things. One is for special people, that rizq, and also this special rizq or rizq khususi is given at a special or specific time. When it comes to special people, for example, it's for mu'mineen, just like how Allah is Rahim. And also, as we have, we break iftar, there's rizq given over there. That's rizq, which we eat for our physical. But this is rizq manavi. So it really depends. Are we here for rizq dunyawi or rizq manavi? Because dua iftitah is rizq manavi. Will of Amirul Mu'mineen is rizq manavi. Recitation of salawat is rizq manavi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Our gathering is a gathering of accumulating rizq manavi for each other. Right. That hall, inshallah, that's rizq manavi as well, but it kind of incline more towards rizq, what I mean, right? So it's very important that this month is the month for rizq manavi, more than rizq dunyavi. We have invitation of, for dinner, for lunch, by our friends, by our mu'mineen, in regular months as well. But at the same time, we have in the month of Ramadan as well, iftar of this brother and that brother. So mu'mineen tend to say, oh, I have to go to iftar for this person, I have to go to iftar for that person. But what about the iftar from Allah, which is the rizq manavi? Who stays and who doesn't stay, right? Who remains, who doesn't remain. And specifically the month of Ramadan is for rizq manavi. There's a special time, like as we said, there's a rizq umumi and there is rizq khususi. Rizq khususi for khususi people, for special people, and in a special, specific time, which is this month, that rizq manavi is given. I mean, imagine when I finish one whole Quran, what will be my daraja, what will be my level of qurb of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after finishing the whole Quran, where I will be. In the month of Ramadan, if I recite one verse of the Quran, my daraja will be the same. Because reciting one ayah of Quran in the month of Ramadan, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Qul huwallahu ahad. This one ayah I recited is like finishing the whole Quran. Why? Because there is rizq manavi in this month. That's why. There's special and specific time for rizq manavi. Like for example, they say, when the sun starts to set, beginning in the eve of Thursday night, Friday, in the Friday evening, where we recite dua samat, for example. The Prophet have said that when the sun starts to set till it's completely sets down, goes out of the horizon. Special and specific time for the acceptance of du'as. The Prophet told the daughter, Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayha, she would ask Fizza to go up the roof and let me know as soon as the sun starts to touch the horizon. And she will start reciting the dua. Although her qurb is amazing, fascinating, right? But still she utilizes that hour for the recitation of the dua. Why? Because there is rizq manawi in that hour. When the children of Yaqub came to Yaqub and he said, please, Father, pray for us because they have committed an error, a mistake. Yusuf, you know all that story. And they wanted to seek forgiveness. Hazrat Yaqub said, okay, I will do that, but however, I will delay it till, sixth Imam says, Thursday night. Because Thursday night is the night of acceptance of du'as. Because it's a specific time where rizq khususi, special rizq is distributed that hour. Rizq as forgiveness, rizq as ma'rifat, rizq as acceptance of du'as in that specific period. Right? So there is special specific period for the rizq manawi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the month of Ramadan is that. As they say, the first night of the month of Ramadan, Allah forgives all sins of mu'min. In the first night itself, the forgiveness is given. After that is the beginning of reaching nearness, qurb of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after the first night. That's why the Prophet says in Khutbah Shabaniya, which is the last Friday he gave a sermon, he says the person who is not forgiven in the month of Ramadan, he is shaqi, which means a wretched person. How much we should try, honestly, in this month for seeking forgiveness. Right? We should try our level best. In a way, Allah is pushing us that we try. For example, one of the times of the acceptance of dua is suhoor time, is sahri time. We are pushed to wake up for sahri, to be awake at that hour. Why? Because rizq manawi is distributed at the sahri time. So somehow, either for food, either for water, whatever may be the case, we are awake. Now the point is that whether I'm going to be utilizing rizq manawi or rizq dunyawi, so that I don't feel hungry, so that I don't feel thirsty, it's fine, it's okay, there's nothing wrong in that. But however, I should make sure that as I'm being awake before Fajr, just maybe 3 rakat of Salatul Layl, 1 rakat of Witr, 2 rakat of Shifa, maybe, just perform that at least. Maybe once I prepare the sahri and my spouse will do the Salatul Layl and Ibadat. The other day, she will prepare, one day, I will do Salatul Layl and other Ibadat that are there. So we have to ta'awun alal birri wa taqwa, as they say. Help each other, in this act of goodness, right? It shouldn't be like all the time something that is ordained that every sahri time, it's wife's duty to wake me up and provide the food for me. She will provide the food for you, but she is attaining rizq manawi by providing that. And if you are providing, you will be attaining rizq manawi. So you have to help each other in this good act of benefiting from the rizq manawi, that is specific hour. No other day, no other month, no other night have this type of blessings that we have in this month of Ramadan. So do not let go this month to benefit from rizq manawi that is there. Without doing tasbih, the Rasulullah says, your breathing is like saying Subhanallah. How merciful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. Imagine while we are breathing, we do tasbih, we do astaghfar, we do salawat. How beautiful that would be. How close we'll get to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a month of purification, tazkiyah. So we should make sure that we should be very vigilant, adamant, very strong in terms of fulfilling, providing, doing amal in this month. Not let go just like that. Dua, iftita, Joshan. As a matter of fact, Joshan and Kabir, we were supposed to recite on the first of the month. Amirul Mu'minin, we recite Joshan and Kabir on the first of the month of Ramadan. There's more emphasis on reciting on the first of the month rather than on the Shab-e Qadr. Although Shab-e Qadr is there, but the first of the month is more powerful. I will tell you why later on. Why is that so? So you have this month. Now look at this month now. Who is the, we say we are the guest of Allah in this month, don't we? We are invited by Allah. We are the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now who is the chief guest of this month? Because chief guest is very important. When you invite somebody, you have many guests. But among those guests, there is one chief guest. The food is not served till the chief guest is there. The rizq manawi is not given till the rizq manawi is given to the chief guest first. Who is that chief guest? Is no one but Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam. Ahsan salawat ala Muhammad wa alihi. And we are the people of chief guest. Aren't we honored that? We are the people of the believer of the Imam who is alive. Whatever rizq comes, dunyavi or manavi, it is through him. So if we want to achieve, it really depends. Are we really closer to the chief guest or not? If we are closer to the chief guest and want to achieve from the rizq manavi, we have to perform what the chief guest is doing. We have to sit where the chief guest is sitting, because that's where the food is taken, you know what I mean? You know, maybe in other tables, we will not focus, वहाँ पे बिरयानी वगैरह नहीं ले जाओगे, मगर जब chief guest जाओ, वहाँ पे अच्छा खाना ले जाना चाहिए, हाँ? Right? Yeah, we will sit near that, because वहाँ पे मिल रहा है भाई. You know, मौलवी के टेबल पे बैठना चाहिए, वहाँ पे सब आता है. You know, so the same way, if we want to be closer to the chief guest, we have to be there where the chief guest is. So you think the chief guest will be not present when Dua Iftitah is not recited? Because Dua Iftitah comes from himself. Dua Iftitah is one of that dua that comes from the Naib Khas of Imam Zaman. He taught us Dua Iftitah. So if I am closer to the chief guest and not reciting what he is reciting, will I benefit from that rizq manavi? So it's very important that we should not let go this month like that. Now, what Allah, who is the host, giving in this month? When, for example, you know, may Allah accept all the iftari the mu'mineen and mu'minat provide in this center, in all places mu'mineen and mu'minat provide. What is the host giving? And the host always want to give the best. And that's why they say, oh, you know, Shabbir bhai ki iftari, you know, बहुत famous hai, और इनकी भाई की iftari famous hai, and you know, oh, यहाँ पे वो मिलता है, यहाँ पे वो मिलता है. You know what I mean, right? So the same way, who is the host, and what is he giving in this month? Yes, the Prophet said is, you know, the first 10 days is, you know, forgiveness, and you know, the other 10 days is maghfirah and all that. Those things been mentioned. But what is the main item? Anybody? Closeness, taqwa. Okay, one of the main items is the Quran. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. Right. Is the Quran is the main item of this month. Now when you go for an invitation, ये खाया वो खाए वो खाए वो खाए नहीं वो तो खाए नहीं असल चीज नहीं खाए, you know what I mean? Oh, I missed that. So the main item is the Quran. Now we have to see how many people are attending the circle of Quran to recite. Yes, alhamdulillah, maybe they are at work, they recite at home. I'm not saying that, but still, somehow we have to make a bit of an effort. During the weekdays, okay, no problem. But weekends, we should say, okay, now, because it's not gonna be all over the year, it's just for 1 month. In this 1 month, weekends, Maybe it will be 6 or 8, if somebody makes an effort and push. So that's the main item, is the Quran. So we have to make sure that there's rizq manawi already there, but among the nur ala nur, the best of the rizq manawi is the Quran. We have to pay attention to the Quran in this month. Now look at this, the whole activity of this month, whatsoever. There's rizq, that in regards to the time is the best time and so on and so forth. We're going to talk a little bit about time in a bit. It's the best of time, best of days, best of nights, from the quality of the time, from the substantial reality of the time is the best. Allah have made it the best. I'm trying to point out to look at the ihtimam that Allah have paid for this Quran, for this Quran. The best of time He has used out of all years. And the best of hours He has used, which is the night of Qadr. Khayrun min alf shahr. For what? For that Quran. Because it's like when something special is coming to arrive, first announcement, second announcement, so many things happen, one after the other, when the chief guest is about to arrive, so little activities happen, finally, So the same way, the best of the month, the best of the night, and the month which is taqwa, la'allakum tattaqun, so that the individual and the people and the mu'mineen who are anticipating are of value as well. The people who anticipate, they are of value too. Yes, the Quran is valuable, the chief guest is valuable, but at the same time, the people who are anticipating are of value in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? Mu'mineen are of great value. They say Allah in one of the hadith Qudsi says that, if you, wage a war with a mu'min, it's as if you are waging a war with me. Because mu'min is the name of Allah Himself. That is mu'min, you are mu'min. You know what I mean? So even the people are of value. The mu'mineen are of value as well. The time, the mu'mineen, the night. And the point is that where it is descending is descended upon the heart of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This whole thing, the whole activity, the whole ihtimam is for that word of Allah to descend. So how valuable the Quran is. And obviously, it descends upon the heart of the 12th Imam. Right? The Hujjat. Every year it descends upon the heart. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. Right? It's anzalna. It's been tanazzalul mala. It's future tense. It's always perpetual. So the Hujjat, it descends upon the heart. So all of this activity is for that message, which been with us and with. We have to make sure that apart from the du'as, apart from fasting, apart from long sujood, one of the activity in the month of Ramadan should be that, yes, we do regular prayers. But our prayers in the month of Ramadan should be a bit different. Maybe a bit longer sajda that we may not do in other months. Maybe in month of Ramadan, a bit longer. Right? Apart from other du'as and all that, iftitah we do, Josh and Kabir we do, night we do amal. But our regular prayers as well, we should try to make a bit different in the sense that, okay, maybe a longer sajda that we do. So, all of this activity is, ihtimam is in this month. For what? For tazkiyah, for the purification of our soul, for reaching the kamal and perfection of our nafs. That's what we want. And we should not be from those, as Rasulullah says, the person who is not forgiven is a shaqi. He is a wretched person. So, in order to acquire that forgiveness, that spirituality, that manaviyat, the struggle must be there. Mehnat, mashaqqat, zahmat. Not relax. No, we have to be. We have to feel that. Yes, we feel the hunger, we feel the sleepless night. But as we've been feeling for years and years and years, let's do a bit more. Let's stretch ourselves a bit more, to do a bit more. So that we can say that, yes, this month of Ramadan, there was a difference. Every month I try to begin the Quran, I have that strength and energy, but in the halfway, let it go. But this month, inshallah, I will make sure I'll finish the whole Quran. Every day one sipar. Or maybe two, I will do it somehow. So it's a bit more is needed. Because the time that we live in, the things that we are seeing, the news that we are hearing, is people just expiring, people just leaving this dunya in their young age. Just like that, left and right, we are hearing so much. Akhir zaman, that's what the Masumin used to say. Death will be so common. Everybody will be speaking about it. People who are young. You know, may Allah bless my cousin who passed recently, Safdar Ali Khan. You know, very young guy. You know, I remember he would take us on his motorbike to majalises here and there and learn so much from him. May Allah bless his soul and bless the soul of all marhumeen. You know. So, time is running out. Now, help me with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Now look at the philosophy of time. I just wanted to, so that we understand the importance of time. You know, because everything becomes valuable when we have the understanding and knowledge of that thing. If I know what I'm holding, if I have the ma'rifat and knowledge what I'm holding, then I will be very careful. It will be very dear to me. I will be very careful of that valuable thing. I will protect it. I will honor it. So now if you look at time, for example, the existential reality of time, haqiqat jawhari, haqiqat waqt, akhir hai kya waqt. What's the reality of time? For example, if you look at the existence itself, wujud itself, everything is in motion. Har cheez jo hai harkat kar rahi hai. Everything is doing harkat. There's nothing stops. Everything is in motion. Whatever you take, done, accepted. And it doesn't need a falsafa to understand that. Everybody knows everything is in harkat. However, when we observe that everything is in motion, in harkat, we realize that everything is motion towards a higher state. Whether it likes it or not, it is going to a higher state. For example, a seed, a bean, a seed. When you plant it, it's a seed. It has qualities which is outward qualities, zahiri, uske shakl, surat hai, rang hai, accidental qualities as we may call it in philosophy, like its color and whatnot and shape. Huh? Not only the zahiri things move, the seed will change into a plant or a tree or a fruit-bearing tree. But the essence of that seed also changes. It no longer remains. उसको आप दरख्त बोलेंगे, ना कि उसको जो है seed या bean बोलेंगे. Completely changes. So from something that was little, transformed into something which is of a greater state. Death is the same thing. It's reaching kamal and perfection for everybody. Musalman, ghair Musalman, sab ke liye maut kamal hai. Why? Because a person who dies is capable enough to see the malaika. Regardless of a Muslim or a non-Muslim, they are able to see the angels. In this dunya, they are unable to see the angels. Maybe the mu'minin, they do see the angels because they have a higher quality, because वो कमाल की मंजिल पे जा पहुंचे हैं, वो देख सकते हैं मलाइकों को. But people who are not on the higher level, they are unable to. But when they die, they are able to see. जैसा ही वो मौत का टाइम करीब आता है, when it gets near, they start seeing. They start seeing their family members, their loved ones, and all of this has been recorded. You know, NDE in America, there's an institution or an organization, near-death experience in hospitals and all that. They have offices. They all say that. Why? Because they are seeing the next world, which is a higher world. So death is a kamal. So therefore, everything is in motion towards kamal. Quran also accepts this. For example, the Quran says the mountains will turn into clouds. Qiyamah jab aayegi to jo mountains hai, pahad hai, wo badalon mein tabdeel ho jayenge. It will change, it will fly. Something that was stagnated, strong, solid, grounded, but it becomes, it vaporizes, it changes its form. Hadith of Amirul Mu'mineen or the Prophet, which says that a mu'min is not the same. If he is the same as he was yesterday, he is at loss. So that means he should be going towards Kamal, learning something new every day. So there's this transformation taking place. Everything is transforming to a higher reality. Not only when we say everything is transforming, even the time also transforms to a higher reality. Qiyamat ka waqt Khuda ke qareeb hai ya is dunya ka waqt? The time that is the day of judgment is nearer to Allah or this time? All time is near to Allah, I'm not saying that. But in terms of His quality, which is much closer, is the Qiyamah obviously. So even the time is going towards Kamal and perfection. Even the makan is going towards, solid things are also transforming towards Kamal and perfection. Everything. So now this zaman, as it is going, this time that we are in, is one of that time which is transforming and reaching towards Kamal, because what it managed to contain within it. Because Quran is revealed in this time, so it's going towards Kamal. And among all of the time, the month of Ramadan becomes valuable. The month of Ramadan is the time which is closer to Allah, because it has purified itself, have reached to that level. Why? Because there are certain things that are contained in this time, for whatever reason that may be. That's why they say that the places where the Anbiya and the Awliya are buried are plots of land which there is no ma'asiyat, there is no guna committed on that piece of land. That's why they are buried there. That land is very pure, where the Anbiya and Awliya are buried. That's why that land is protected even by, as there's a hadith which says that there's no masjid in which there is a Waliullah buried or the blood of Waliullah is there. 6th Imam says. There's a masjid called Masjid Imam Hassan near the old highway of Qom, for those who have visited. This masjid was built by a person who, long time ago, at the time of Ayatollah Hayri. And this story is from Ayatollah Safiya Gul Paigani, the Marja who recently passed away, marhum. He says that he has met the Bani of the masjid, the one who built this masjid. And he questioned him, and his grave is there as well. He says that one day, long time ago, I was coming to Qom from Tehran or somewhere, and I stopped near Qom, and then I wanted to go to the bathroom, use the, in olden days they go in the desert, so to speak. And I went there, I was about to go, I saw a Sayyid, and he said, don't go that side. I have marked this place, because there is blood of Saadat here. And this is where the mihrab should be, this is where the masjid should be, and you go there. So this man was not thinking, so he went there, and then he came back, and then things were already marked there. And then he thought, what was this? And then he spoke to the marja, and he said, this was Imam Zaman. So every masjid, either it is awliya buried there, or there is a blood of shuhada there. It's a very special, the makan I'm trying to say. is also have value. It purifies itself. Why aqiq becomes aqiq? Because it purifies itself. It is going towards kamal. Everything is transforming. Right? So you have this time, which is the month of Ramadan, which is unique and special. One more thing in the margin, just to kind of understand the value of time, the essential reality of time, and how we should really benefit from this time and not let go this time. For example, Shaban just passed by. The Prophet said, Shaban, Shahr Shahri, is my month. Shaban, this month of Ramadan is Shahrullah, isn't it? Right? To understand the value of the time of month of Ramadan. The month of Shaban is my month. What does that mean? If somebody wants to see the manifestation of Rasulullah in a form of time, that is Shaban. If somebody wants, if Rasulullah's body is transformed, agar Rasul Khuda ki jo jism hai, wo transfer ho jaye, zaman ki shakal mein aa jaye, to wo Shaban hoga. उसी तरह से जिस तरह से अहले बैत और रसूल है, the same way as the अहले बैत and Rasul, because so whoever hurts अहले बैत hurt Rasul, whoever pleases अहले बैत have pleased me, right? So if we want to understand and see how time looks in a human form, if somebody wants to see time in a human form, that is Rasulullah. So that means if we want to be closer to Rasulullah, we should have been closer to the month of Shaban. Now this month of Ramadan is known as the month of Allah, Shahrullah. That means this month is nothing but a month in which there is manifestations, reflections of Asma of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why one of the reasons why you recite on the first night Joshan-e-Kabir. That's why you recite Dua Iftitah every night. There's Asma of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's manifestation, there's reflection, tajalliyat of these Asma taking place in this month. We should have that eye, that heart, who's able to see these names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these Asma ilahi in this month, and feel that presence. That's how a mu'min should be. That's how the chief guest is in this month. That he cannot, why our tasbih, our breathing becomes tasbih in this month? Because of the presence of those names of Allah in this month. It's the greatest presence of Allah in this month. Why there is forgiveness? Because of the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this time, in this hour, in this minute. What it requires of us is to purify our heart so that our heart is able to see these names. What does Amirul Mu'minin say? Do I worship Allah that I don't see? I see Allah, not with this eye, but with the eye of the heart. I feel that presence. If somebody wants to have that presence of Allah, it is this month. As the Quran clearly points out to, وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ, wherever you are, with you is Allah. أَيْنَمَا تُوَلُّوا فَثَمَّ وَجْهُ اللَّهِ, wherever you turn, there's a face of Allah. The month of Ramadan is the doorway for these verses to become the reference. For these verses, it becomes misdaq. The reference of these verses is in this month. That's why, it is the month of Ramadan where the Kalamullah is sent. The Quran is sent in this month. So this time, which is the month of Ramadan, as we said, even the time is going towards the Kamal and perfection, month by month, year by year, beginning from the first day. There was month of the night of Qadr is night of Qadr. Even at the time of Adam, they say it was night of Qadr. At the time of Musa, there is night of Qadr. All Anbiya, Rasulullah, and it's going to keep on going. So the time is also going towards Kamal and perfection, and going nearer and nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where it reaches Qiyamah. Right. And then even the Qiyamah we call Yawmul Qiyamah, Day of Judgment. We spoke about this last year a bit, just a reminder. Day of Judgment, we say. What does that mean, day? This all, what's the activity that is happening from the time of Adam till that was nothing, is nothing but night. This is a long night. What night is this? This is the night of Qadr. That's the reality of Qadr. Why? Because it's the night of Qadr, everything is descends. And the fruit of it is Day of Judgment. Night of Qadr के आमाल, क़यामत के दिन उसका सवाब. तो ये पूरी जिंदगी इंसानों की, आदम से लेकर क़यामत के दिन तक रात है. It's all nothing but night. And then the day happens. That's why it's called Yawm al-Qiyamah. So this means that this time also is having this movement towards Kamal and perfection. The Makan also have an effect. The Makan also have an effect. The place that you're sitting have a powerful effect. There's something unique about this place. That's why we are gathering here. We don't know that. And the Makan also reaches Kamal and perfection. And that is through you all, by your presence here. The Makan is making you reach perfection, and you are making the Makan reach Kamal. The Makan is being purified by your sajdas, by your zikr, by your presence here. And it is becoming a source of light for the future generations to come to benefit from. That Makan also have a value. The time also the same thing. You benefit the time, and time benefits you. You assist and help the time by your zikr and askar, and the time benefits you as well. It's both ways. That's why there's an emphasis in the Quran, ta'awun, ta'awun, ta'awun al-birri wa taqwa, on that piety. So now this is the month, which is the month of Allah. And for us requires that extra sort of energy and help and activity from our side to uphold, to respect, to honor, by which we will be honored, inshallah. And in this month we have the martyrdom of Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, which is the best of the month and the best of the nights. Now, as we said, Zaman, if you want to see Rasulullah, one point here and then we'll finish inshallah. Makan as also, Ali, tumhari misal Kabe ki misal hai. If somebody wants to see the transformation of Ali into a form of a brick and walls, that is Kaaba. Right? That's what it is. And this is the truth and reality. Everything has a symbolic value. As we said, Shaban Shah Shahri. If somebody wants to see if Rasulullah is transformed into time, what it becomes? It becomes Shaban. Makan, if somebody wants to see the transformation of Ali into walls and bricks, that becomes Kaaba. That's the reality of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. And as we are in the month of Shahrullah, that's why they are known as Alullah. Right? We call them, they are known as Alullah. No wonder we take their name in Dua Iftitah. No wonder on the night of Qadr we say bi Muhammadin, bi Ali, bi Fatima. They cannot be separated. It's one reality. Right? Quran wa Ahl Bayt. So in this month, with the assistance, with the help of Ahl Bayt alayhi salam, we have to make sure that we purify ourselves. We reach to that level of nearness and help and aid the month and Ahl Bayt, and be closer to the chief guest of the month. And that's why we wanted to discuss one of the most precious will or advice of Amirul Mu'minin to his children, which is the last will of Amirul Mu'minin, which he gave after he was injured on the 19th. There are about 30 different points in this, which would have been interesting to look at for all 30 nights. However, we will try to look at it at least 3 every night. And the first that he begins is with taqwa, which is very important. And as we all know that it has been the methodology or the norm of any people who are of value, who have some position in the society, in the community. They tend to say last final words, and these final words are very important. Father to the son, leader to the subject, to the people, to the nation. Those final words are very important. So if Allah give us tawfiq, inshallah, we'll be looking at that. And the reason and the result of this is no doubt those very words of Amirul Mu'minin. The success of this and the reason of this being remaining, the reason of this being the methodology for kamal and perfection for us, is those final words of Amirul Mu'minin, that is Fustu bi Rabbil Kaaba. Right? He was, by the Lord of the Kaaba, I was successful, that he lived, he embodied his life with the Quran. He was an embodiment of the Quran. And this was mentioned in the very khutbah Shabaniya, where Rasulullah says that he started to cry in the month. When the khutbah Shabaniya, Rasulullah started crying. Then Amirul Mu'minin asked, why are you crying, Rasulullah? He says, I see that your beard will be dipped in blood, because there will be a blow on your head. But what did Hazrat Ali ask? He didn't ask, oh, is my children gonna be safe? Is everything gonna be okay for my future of my family? No, he said, is my iman will be okay, Rasulullah? Because there's a value. He knows. And Rasulullah said, yes, your iman will be okay. How and why your iman will be okay? Oh Ali. Just before that he asked, as this is the month, and this is actually an advice of Amirul Mu'minin. We say, what shall we do in the month of Ramadan? We should do this, we should do that, we should do this. But what was the advice of Rasulullah to Hazrat Ali? He said, don't do, not do. Rasulullah said, oh Ali, don't commit sins. Wara min maharim Allah. Protect yourself from sins. Don't do sins in this month. That's the best advice, because after the khutbah Shabaniya, Hazrat Ali stood and asked, what's the best thing I can do? But Rasulullah didn't say, okay, you do this. But Rasulullah said, don't do sins. Protect yourself from sins. It's not doing. Instead of doing, it's not doing. So we should try, as an advice of Rasulullah to Amirul Mu'minin, and Amirul Mu'minin was with that advice, and he lived with that advice till Fustu bi Rabbil Kaaba, right? By not committing sins, by being far away from sins, right? To the extent where, even his nafs is not there, marhaban, spit on the face, and we know that story that he left. Only Allah's will. And this is Ali. And being every night, as we might do a bit of zikr musibat, it wasn't easy for the children of Ali. They become yatim. Not only the children of Ali, but even the whole Kufa became yatim. There was a line of young little children to the house of Amirul Mu'minin when the doctor said that milk is good for Ali. Everybody. And that what type of father was Ali? That they don't even realize who is their father. How close was Ali to the orphans? And that's why in his last will, later on we will look at it, he advises his own children that take care of orphans. Take care of yatim. Be careful of them. Be wary of them. That is Ali, that who lived all his life in that fashion. And the way he was killed, it wasn't easy. When they brought Ali's body from the masjid in the house, Ali was asking the children, Hassan and Hussein, not to cry. But when they brought Ali and Zainab saw Ali in this fashion, Zainab started crying. And when Zainab started crying, Ali, instead of telling Zainab not to cry, Ali also started to cry. Because for a father, it's not easy to see the daughter crying. But where were you, oh father, when Hussein was being slain and Zainab came out of the tent? There was nobody to stop Zainab crying. لا لعنة الله على قوم الظالمين سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون بفاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها وسر المستودع فيها بعدد ما أحاط به علمك بمولاة زينب سلام الله عليها. يا الله 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 يا رحمن يا رحيم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك يا قاضي الحاجات يا كافي المهمات إنك على كل شيء قدير. رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة لأرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات, especially for the marhumin of the sponsors of the iftar niyaz tonight and the iftar niyaz that they have sponsored, and also future mu'mineen who are sponsoring the iftar, their marhumin and marhumin of all of you, inshallah. Al-Fatiha. Ma salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillah.
صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا خاتم الأنبياء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا علي أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة النساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. السلام عليك يا قائم آل محمد. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان. الأمان الأمان سيدي من فتنة الزمان وشر الشيطان. عجل الله تعالى فرجك. عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك ورحمة الله وبركاته.